A family of four floated on the ocean for 30 days. They ate sashimi all day long. That day, the man couldn't stand the taste of raw fish. His eyes turned to his own son and he had bad thoughts about him. He picked up his son. When the mother saw this, she raised her oar and threw it at her husband. Finally, she threw him into the sea. After all this, the three remaining family members drifted in the sea for a long time. Suddenly, an island appeared in front of them. They thought they were hallucinating, but when they looked closer, it really was an island. They pulled out to the shore. The mother hurriedly took their children to the island. She opened the coconuts on the ground to quench their thirst. She found a rag and set up a tent. Then they searched for water. Before they got very far, she found a small freshwater stream and even found a lot of food around the area. With all this food, the woman has no problem feeding her children. But it didn't last long. The gods played a big joke on them. A torrential downpour came. The woman rushed to take shelter with her children, but the rain was so heavy that the tent was useless. She had no choice but to put a tarp over the children. She stayed out in the rain. The rain continued for 3 hours before it stopped, but their tent was already in shambles. To find a better shelter, she took the baby into the thick woods. Just then, they came upon a thatched hut. When they entered it, it was simple, but at least it provided shelter from the wind and rain. And so they survived. Soon years passed, and the two children grew up. They learned to survive on their own. That day, they were out fishing when they ran into a shark, and the boat's ropes came loose of their own accord. The boat was swept away by the waves, and to make matters worse, there was a shark in the sea. Two kids were fishing on the beach. Just as they were spearing a fish, a shark swam up to them. The boy immediately threw his spear, but when he retrieves it, the shark breaks it. They tried to run away, but the boat had already been swept away by the waves. He picked up a rock and threw it at the shark, but it angered the shark. The sharks are hovering around the two of them. It was getting dark. In a moment of desperation, the boy took out a fish he had caught. He cut open the belly of the fish and threw it into the sea. Soon the shark swam by, smelling the blood. Taking advantage of this, they swam desperately towards the boat. Just when they thought they were safe, the shark came after them again. In the nick of time, the siblings quickly climbed into the boat and escaped the shark's attack. Soon after, their mother became seriously ill from the wind and cold. But in the middle of nowhere, there's no medical treatment. Mother knew her days were numbered. She called her two children to her bedside and left her last words. She told them a shocking secret, that they were not her siblings. Richard was actually a found child. Although he wasn't born, his mother treated him as her own son. After their mother's death, they buried her on the slope as requested by her. Time flew by and the two of them grew up. They lived a carefree life together on a deserted island. To make his sister happy, Richard would dive to the bottom of the sea every day and fish a few shells. He took out the pearls and gave them to Lily. Lily loved the pearls so much that she made them into jewelry and wore them in her hair. That day, Lily woke up to find a pool of blood on her bedsheet. Lily was so scared that she didn't know what to do. Suddenly she remembered what her mother had told her before she died. It meant that she had become a woman. Meanwhile, Richard watched his sister's beautiful body. He peeked through the door, the adrenaline rush of the spring breeze in front of him. His body was changing uncontrollably. The feeling made him very uncomfortable until the day they expressed their love for each other and made a promise in front of their mother's grave. They thought they would live happily ever after, but the arrival of a sailboat shattered their peace. The couple had been living on the island for over 20 years, until one day, a sailboat broke their peace. They found out that they just came to the island for some food. Seeing that they were harmless, they kindly took them in. At night, Richard and Lily prepared a feast of seafood for them, but the greedy Bob was interested in the pearls on Lily's head. The next day, the captain gave them some clothes as a thank you. When Richard put on his handsome suit, the captain's daughter was mesmerized by him. In the days that followed, the captain's daughter was always trying to get close to Richard. They even danced in front of Lily. Watching their ambiguous looks, Lily was instantly depressed. She ran away in anger. Because of this incident, they had a very bad relationship. Learning that Richard liked girls with heavy makeup, the next morning, she started smearing her face with paint and posing in a sexy way. Richard didn't like it at all and told Lily to rinse her face off. When Lily went to the river to take a bath, Bob hid behind a rock and spied on her. When Lily got to the shore, Bob grabbed her by the hair. Bob asked her where the pearls were. To protect herself, Lily led Bob to the pearls. But Bob was not only greedy for money, he was also a womanizer. Just when he was about to do something wrong, Richard showed up just in time, but his small body was no match for Bob. He was about to fight back when Bob shot him in the shoulder. He resisted the pain and lunged at Bob. During the fight, the shotgun fell to the ground. Richard rushed to pick up the shotgun, but he didn't know how to use it. While they were fighting, the captain heard the commotion and rushed over. But Bob seems to be so angry that he wants to kill Richard as a way to relieve his anger. Richard fled in a panic. Bob was right behind him. Soon Richard was on a coral reef. Seeing that he couldn't hit Richard, Bob went straight after him. Unbeknownst to him, he's already caught in Richard's trap. Seeing the shark approaching, Richard climbs onto the reef. Before he could react, Bob fell into the shark's mouth and was eaten. At the end of the story, the captain left with the others, and Lily was pregnant with Richard's baby. And so the family continued to live on the island. Thank you for watching my video. See you next time.